This is an introduction to the Pythagorean Theorem, which applies to all triangles with a right angle. The theorem states if we name our sides A, B, and C, whereby C is always the longest side opposite the right angle, then it will always be true that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This means that if we make a square with length A, the area would be A squared. And if we do the same with length B and C, when we combine the areas A squared and B squared together, they will make C squared. To illustrate this point, let's fill C squared with water. If we were to distribute that water into the other two squares, it would fill them perfectly, and vice versa. Let's check out a right triangle with side lengths of 3, 4, and 5. Applying the Pythagorean theorem, this would mean that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, which makes sense since 9 plus 16 equals 25. And finally, let's take a look at an example in which we are given two sides and need to solve for the third side. In this case, we are given that the A and B sides have a length of 5 and 12, and we need to solve for the longest side, which we also call the hypotenuse. It doesn't actually matter whether we call 5 and 12 A or B, as long as we identify the C side correctly. In this case, we will assign A a value of 5 and B a value of 12, and we will solve for C, which means that 5 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. When simplifying, we now have that 25 plus 144 equals C squared. After adding them together, C squared equals 169. To solve this, we will take the square root of both sides, thereby getting rid of the squared symbol. And since the square root of 169 is 13, we have that C equals 13.